Again, several shell casings across the street in front of these stores. The police have a very large scene blocked off. We do know.
She fought her own family in court and won. For years, Surjeet's murder was hidden behind lies, fear, and silence, until one woman risked everything to expose the truth. This is the shocking story that shook Britain and India. London, 1998. The city was calmer back then. No rush, no blinding neon lights, just a gentle pace of life. But one evening, that calm was torn apart by a single chilling phone call to the London police. On the other end, a woman's voice trembled as she warned, "A murder is about to happen in India. It can still be stopped." The police did nothing. And because of that silence, a crime unfolded that would shake not just London, but the entire nation of India. A crime so cruel, it could make you lose faith in humanity, in love, even in family. This wasn't just another tragedy. It was the kind of story that lingers in your mind, keeping you awake at night. A family that looked perfect on the outside, hiding a darkness as deep as a starless sky. This is the story of Surjeet Kaur. Surjeet grew up in London, born to Punjabi parents who had moved there years ago, but never left their traditions behind. They raised her with strict rules. Her clothes, her behavior, even her dreams had to fit the mold of a proper Punjabi girl. Education beyond school was not encouraged. At just 16, her parents announced she would marry. Surjeet pleaded to study further, to build a future for herself. Her words fell on deaf ears. She was forced into marriage with Sukhdev Singh, a man from Punjab, whose family also lived in the UK. She had met him only once before the wedding. Still a teenager, she entered her new home, only to discover it was ruled by one person, her mother-in-law, a stern, commanding woman known in the community for leading religious hymn groups, but feared by those inside her house. Every decision passed through her. No one dared to challenge her authority, not even her sons. From day one, Surjeet's life became a struggle. She didn't know how to cook or run a household. No one had ever taught her. Instead of guiding her, her mother-in-law humiliated and beat her for the smallest mistakes. The housemaids were dismissed, forcing Surjeet to handle every chore from morning to night. Her suffering grew worse with each passing day. When she turned to her husband for help, he coldly replied, "I will do whatever my mother says." Soon, he too began raising his hand against her. For a long time, Surjeet kept her pain a secret from her parents, but the violence only escalated until she could hide it no more. One day, Surjeet Kaur finally gathered the courage to tell her parents everything. She broke down and shared all the pain she was going through. The beatings, the insults, the endless work. But instead of support, her parents gave her the usual answer. "This is common after marriage, dear. Things will get better. Just be patient. Once you have a child, your husband will change." Surjeet had once been told, "Go back home. Your mother-in-law will treat you like her own daughter." With that false promise, she returned to the same walls that had caged her for so long. 6 months into her marriage, her father-in-law passed away. Years slipped by, and in 1991, she gave birth to a baby boy. For the first time in a long while, she felt hope. She believed this child might soften hearts, that her husband might become kinder, her mother-in-law warmer. But the opposite happened. The cruelty only deepened. Her days were a relentless cycle, nursing a newborn through sleepless nights, then rising to complete every household chore alone. If the baby cried and disturbed her mother-in-law's rest, the older woman would storm in, shouting without compassion. Her husband offered no comfort, no help. Surjeet was utterly alone. To outsiders, The Atwal family appeared perfect, devout, respectable, bound by tradition. But behind closed doors, they were breaking her spirit piece by piece. In 1992, her brother-in-law, Hardeep Singh, married Surjeet, a gentle, soft-spoken woman. Within days, Surjeet realized the truth. This was not a home of love, but of control and humiliation. She too became a target of mistreatment. Years of suffering pushed Surjeet to her limit. She longed for space, for peace, for a life where she could breathe. Against all odds, she began searching for work, knowing her in-laws would disapprove. Eventually, she secured a job as a customs agent at Heathrow Airport. Those 8 hours away from home became her lifeline, time when she could smile, make friends, and feel human again. Her colleagues listened to her story and urged her to leave. One day, she made her decision. Without warning, she took her son and moved into a small rented home near her job. For the first time, she tasted freedom. But it didn't last. Sukhdev began showing up at her door, demanding she return. After endless arguments, she agreed, on one condition: they would live separately from his family. He agreed and even bought a new house, right next to his mother's. Life fell back into the same pattern. Sukhdev's doubts grew, especially as Surjeet continued working. By 1997, she was pregnant again, but instead of joy, the birth of her second son brought accusations. Sukhdev questioned the child's paternity, and soon the entire family joined in their suspicion. The home that was meant to be her escape had become another prison. Seeking comfort, Surjeet grew close to a co-worker, and their friendship turned into romance. But she had no idea her husband had begun secretly following her, watching her every move. When he discovered the affair, his anger boiled over. He told his mother and the rest of the Atwal family. When Surjeet realized her secret was out, she did something she had never dared before. She asked Sukhdev for a divorce. Sukhdev immediately ran to his mother, Bhajan Kaur. But divorce was never an option for her. Instead, she gathered the family for a secret meeting inside their home. Present were Bhajan Kaur, Sukhdev Singh, Hardeep Singh, and Hardeep's wife, Surjeet. Behind closed doors, Bhajan Kaur laid out a chilling plan. Surjeet would be killed before she could leave for another man. She had already made arrangements in India to have it done. Everyone agreed, except Surjeet. She was horrified, but fear of her mother-in-law and husband kept her silent. The very next day, Bhajan Kaur suddenly softened her tone. With false warmth, she told Surjeet, "2 weddings are coming up in India. You're my eldest daughter-in-law. You must come with me. Once we return, I promise you'll have your divorce." Surjeet believed her. The trip was booked, December 3rd to the 18th. She thought it was her path to freedom. She had no idea it was a trap, but Surjeet knew. The weight of the secret grew heavier until she couldn't take it anymore. Hours before the flight, she slipped out, drove far from her neighborhood, and stopped at a public phone booth. From there, she called Crime Stoppers, anonymously revealing everything: names, flight details, the murder plot. The police never responded. 2 weeks later, Bhajan Kaur returned to England, alone. When asked, she claimed Surjeet had decided to stay in Punjab a little longer. To others, she told a different story, that Surjeet had fallen in love in India, run away to Delhi, and abandoned her children. On December 21st, Surjeet's brother Jagdish Singh reported her missing to the Metropolitan Police. Finally, an investigation began. Then, in January 1999, Surjeet found herself alone with Bhajan Kaur. Perhaps feeling untouchable, or maybe seeking to unburden herself, Bhajan Kaur quietly confessed. She said they arrived in Delhi, where her brother Darshan picked them up. After 2 weddings in the village, Surjeet asked to go shopping. Darshan and a friend readied the jeep. Along the way, they gave her water laced with drugs. When she passed out, they strangled her, stole her jewelry, and dumped her body into the river Ravi. It was over, no trace, no witnesses, no proof. But now, the truth was in Surjeet's hands, and she had a choice: stay silent or risk everything to expose them. They refused to give up. Surjeet's family kept knocking on the doors of the British Foreign Office, begging them to push for an investigation in Punjab. Then in February 1999, her husband Sukhdev made a chilling move. He tried to cash in her £100,000 life insurance. The claim failed. In May 2000, London police arrested Surjeet Kaur and her son Sukhdev for suspected murder conspiracy. But after just one day of questioning, they were released without charges. Meanwhile, Surjeet was living her own nightmare in the Atwal household. She tried to escape many times, but every attempt failed. By 2004, the abuse had broken her. After a mental breakdown, she was hospitalized. Finally, in August 2006, Surjeet Kaur and Sukhdev Atwal were arrested for Surjeet's murder. But the real killers, Darshan Singh and his friend, escaped justice and remain free in India to this day. Surjeet rebuilt her life. She left Sukhdev, raised her 4 children, became a police officer, and later retired. She even wrote a book sharing both her and Surjeet's story. Justice for Surjeet didn't come easily. If you believe stories like this need to be told, hit the like button, subscribe to Last Known Truth, and share this video so her voice is never forgotten.